Anyway, so today my presentation is basically to just run you through exactly how you get hacked. We'll hack some of you when you're here. We'll see how exactly it works, and I'm just going to take you through. I don't usually have PowerPoint presentation, but I'll do it just because it's the usual thing people do at conferences, right? All right. So the kill chain of cybersecurity is basically, first of all, a little bit about me. My name is Bright Gameli Maudo. I'm originally from Ghana, but I've been in Kenya for quite some time right now. I'm a cybersecurity researcher and engineer, and currently the head of cybersecurity services for Internet Solutions. But I used to be the former head of cybersecurity for Cellulant, the power sponsors of this conference. I think some of you met Stacy yesterday. That was one of my greatest mentees. Like, she's really good, and someone I'm really proud of. I tell people my information is publicly available because I'm not scared of actually sharing my number. Copy it. If you text me too much, I'll spam you back. I can send you 200 messages in 5 seconds. And it's very easy to do because, well, I mean, there are ways of actually getting this done. And so I don't really mind sharing my information. It's publicly available. You can see whatever I've been doing, YouTube videos or whatever it is. So I mean, everything is here when it comes to cybersecurity about Bright. All the information you can think about. It's just a one-pager. It took me 7 minutes to get this page done because I'm a very lazy person. Anyway, I am very lazy, by the way. So I just want to take you through, I want to ask you a few questions and I want you to answer me. The presentation will be based on this question. Did you know that it takes, everybody who has a Windows machine here, it takes 5 minutes to break into a Windows machine. If you have a Linux, it takes you approximately 6 seconds. And people who have Macs, Macintosh laptops? Yeah, so guys, you know, usually when they go to a place, guys who have Macs feel like they're the most important people. Right or wrong? If you have an iPhone, they're like, you know, you can't touch us, we are separate from other people. So Macintosh users usually feel like they're the most important, yet it takes only 6 seconds for you to break into a Mac. When you, IT guys, how many of you in IT? Anyway, when you put the power button of a Macintosh laptop, which is unencrypted, when you press the command key and S for 6 seconds, it gives you administrator privileges to the laptop. You can copy files in, you can delete files, you can actually edit anything, you can plant anything in there, or delete it without the person even having an idea. You can create users. And guess what? All the tutorials on YouTube, so don't ask me how to do this. I'm not going to show you that, because I know he will not give me his Macintosh. He's very busy with his Mac right now. Anyway, so when I came here, every time somebody sends you a document, this is say a Microsoft Word or Excel, you should be able to actually compromise that person's laptop very easily. You can shut it down, activate the webcam, you can actually activate the mic in the background, and the person will have absolutely no idea. We're just trying to do that right now with Salim's laptop. So just because I don't have a lot of time, I might not show you that demonstration. Similar thing happens when it's on a wireless network. All of you on the Wi-Fi, right? So can we check how many people have Technos and Infinix? I'll show you right now. It's very easy. Don't disconnect, please. Stay on the Wi-Fi. In fact, let me just do that right now before people start disconnected from the and all these tools are publicly available, so I'm not going to do anything. Let's see. Yeah, people love. No, and don't worry, I'm not sniffing your Wi-Fi or your traffic. If I wanted to do that, I'll force you to see anything that I want you to see. I'll force you to go to websites you don't want to go to. I'll force you to download applications to your phone, which will forcibly be coming to you. You'll be so annoyed, you can't stop them. You have to install them. And when you install an application, it only takes me 1 second for me to have access to your entire phone, of which I can send us a message from the phone, I can go to a WhatsApp database, I can delete any file from the phone, even pictures. The secret pictures have been hidden from your spouses. Right? So you can see, these are people who have Infinix, Huawei, anyway, these are just random things. I'm not going to go so much into that right now before people disconnect. And people send you mobile applications like that app that I forced you to download. You know how you in groups are like, check out this new app and everything, yeah? An app that is sending you to actually check out is probably backdoor. Because if I give an app that I've put a backdoor in that application, I should be able to have access to the entire phone. So when somebody give all the applications, 93% of mobile applications in Kenya are not secure. Do you know that? I've been testing so many of them almost every week, and I can tell you for a fact that it's very easy to become rich. If I was a bad guy, I was a bad guy, I can get so rich so easily because if I intercept traffic or if reverse engineer a mobile application, let's take a loan application for example, before I request that 5,000 to me, I can push it to you. But you see, you don't even know that mobile application existed, so you're not on the system. That means you will not be charged for it. So if you're good friends, I can tell you I'll send you 5,000, send me 3, keep it 2. They can't come and prosecute you. Before they even go to that court of law, it's too late. So, the way people come to your phone, your laptop, say, please charge my phone for me, it takes time. And for me to do that, I have another phone that is in the bag actually. That phone, when I plug that phone to charge in the laptop, I can actually send any command to the laptop in less than 5 seconds. And I just need to distract you in a very short time for you to actually let that application run. Because as fast as it's running, you will not even see anything being written on the top. So anyway, that can be done with a flash disk. I have another one that I have here, which can be done so easily. So I'm just going to take you through a few demos. And because of time, I don't want to keep everyone here. I will rush through it and get your paper and pen ready because today I'll give you some free goodies. I'll give you a few tricks you can use to actually get things like Netflix passwords. Hey, you actually get your pen and paper ready. Oh, okay. So every time you see this is a habit for hackers. Hackers use Google as a main platform to actually get anything you want. The way you search for things on Google is not the way I search for things. I can search for cameras all over Swahili Port area. I can search for cameras that are in people's homes. You can actually, I did one before and I forgot exactly where I was looking. But I was able to actually find a hospital in Mombasa that I actually connected to, and I could see all the cleaners walking around, all the doctors coming to check things. It's quite interesting. That's the invasion of privacy, but anyway, I'm not going to show you how to do that. You can use Google to get anything you want. So I'm going to show you a few tricks. What does a hacker do when they're trying to get information about a person, an organization? So please, if I use any organization here, bear with me. I'm not hacking you. I'm only trying to show you possible things that can be done. Are we together? Okay. I wish I had a lapel mic because this is very difficult to hold in time. Anyway. This basically says that look for every Microsoft Word document that exists on all Kenyan websites that with the word confidential in it. Okay, we're not hacking, we're only gathering information. So this is called Google Docking. If I was to say that I'm looking for, say, documents that are to do with resume, we have Technical University here. Technical University. You'll see resumes that are actually having people said they actually have the word technical in there. They have Polytechnic. You basically can gather information about people. You can actually specify a particular person that you want to see his resume, because that resume will have what information? Things like, answer me, what does it have? Phone number, good. ID number. Today I'm going to show you what I can find out if I have your ID number. So please volunteer when I get there. Okay, don't be shy. ID number, you get people's details. I can actually pick out every single word on that page and try to have a combination with every single character on the keyboard. And that will form what we call a dictionary. That dictionary that I find or put together will be able to actually use to crack your passwords. And I can try 180 passwords with this laptop per second. This is a very simple laptop. So this is just basically finding out details about a person. You can change this as an education, you can change this to PPT. That doesn't mean you students should start doing that, okay? Change this to PPT and looking for, say, Python programming. You'll be able to actually find, oh, let me say, I'll change this to COM, so to make it actually much more. You'll find PowerPoint presentations to do with Python programming. So you don't have to wait for a teacher to teach you everything. You can all get them online, right? Assignments can be done with this, but please don't use it for bad things. Plagiarism is not allowed, okay? But however, if I want to do, I try to find out what to call an indexing of a website. And the indexing of a website is basically what Google shows you. Their book, does anyone have a book there? Anyway, if you have a book, it shows you very nice graphical interfaces. But when you do the back end of it, the back end shows you a directory listing of ways that you can actually find out details of the back end of the server. Now, not to get too technical, if I was to look for, how many of you watch TV series or movies? What do you watch? The what? The West Wing. So assuming, so you see, most websites have the West Wing and they show you pop-ups. You have to click on this and another pop-up for you to register. There are other ways you can actually get that. So I'll use a movie as an example. So when you do that, you get, oh, okay. I might have to fine tune that a little bit. But this is basically looking for anything with West Wing in it. Let me try another one so that it's a bit easier to, but that needs a little bit narrowing down. This is Scandal. So Scandal comes in the format of what? AVI, MP4, or MKV, right? So if I was to go to, say, that, these are old movies. Let me use one of these to say. You can see it's an indexer which has all the series you can think about. But let me see. Okay, I'm not a robot, so yeah. Something like this gives you a whole lot of movies, of which if you click the dot at the top, gives you a bit more options. As the movies that came in various dates that you can actually download. All these movies are for free. You just have to right click and download. Are we together? However, when I'm looking for about a company, I don't go for a certain thing. I go for specific details. Like, I want to find out exactly who say they actually work at a particular company. And the various sources of where people professionally put the details are where? Where do people put their details professionally? Good. I like that. So LinkedIn. So I use this code and says, find out everybody who says they work at Denton's, Hamilton, and Harrison. So I didn't know there was Dentons before, but when they told me that on stage, I decided, let me add that extra. Because I used to consult for them, actually. Anyway, so when you look at this, you get to find out that Brian Ichiri is an associate advocate. You're looking at a trainee. Now, this trainee is a possible person I can target, because that person will be very susceptible to opening anything I send them, right? So I'll try to find out email addresses that are actually looking like this. But anyway, I'll change companies so that I don't stick to one person. So if I was to do the same for Swahili Pots, let's see. I decided to type the commands earlier on so that I can just. Are those right? Okay. So when you find out such information, it's all information gathering. The more you find out information, the easier the hack. So I want to make sure that I have the right information of who I'm going to target. Is it the HR person? Is it the person who is in IT? Is it the person who is the director of technology? See, the guy in technology will most probably look at my document and be like, there's something else right. But the guy who is in HR, who says they will have a job position, will quickly open that document. Or a trainee will quickly open that document. If I was to have more time later, I can show you, I can book a phone call to you coming from him. and trust me to be my voice, but to be legitimate phone calls to you. Because we're using relays of technology that can actually make sure that we can spoof anything to you. Same as SMSs. Anyway, I'm not going to do too much technical stuff. So, I try to find out people who actually work in the organization, what they do, the positions. If I was to go a little bit, can I give a little bit of free, this was not part of the presentation, but you can use Google to also find out people's Netflix passwords. So you're not hacking someone, somebody has hacked them before, so you only use that person's information to get their username and passwords, of which I will try one of them and see if it works. So this is Netflix. I'm going to sign in here. And I've copied the username and password already of one of them, randomly, of this person. And let's try the password, hoping that she hasn't changed it because I'm always using her account. No, I use it as a backup because I have too many devices and I don't want to pay for extra. Yep, and this person is actually right here, right there. Anyway, so, like I was saying, Google is very good at being able to get you to do anything you want. Yeah, and I can close that for now. But however, I like to use something called a terminal. A terminal is basically this. So before we go to see all the guys in the Wi-Fi networks, the kind of phones that you're using, I can see a lot of guys like Infinix, yeah? Infinix seems to be the most, and then there's one Apple right there, which could be his laptop. Anyway. So we know what kind of phones people use here. We know, I know a lot of guys on Android. So if I was to target people on this network, I will force you to download an Android application for you to hack you, right? Or I'll put protocols that if I'm trying to sniff traffic, I'll be sniffing traffic off Android users. Because I know the kind of browser technology they use on their phone. I know how to extract those on a network. Anyway, so the terminal is what I'm going to use to find out details about people. And there's so many ways of gathering information about people. So I will just run a few because of time before they start calling me out. Like, so I know Liquid Talcom is here. So if I want to find out everything I was doing before, I want to find out, I don't know, Google to go find out how many people, this is really cold. Okay, I'm freezing a little bit. I just want to find out that at that server, so you see, this servers, if I was a hacker, I'll try to hack this one because subdomains are the ones that you can actually use to compromise somebody. That's what the Jews are. Thank you so much. And I'm trying to look at these email addresses. When you look at this, what do you make out of this? Let's think of a hacker today. Today you're hacking. I'm not hacking Talcom, Liquid Talcom. I'm just trying to find out. If you look at this, what do you make out of the email addresses? Anybody? Exactly, the name is structure. First name and last name. So if I have this information and I go, assuming I did the same thing for Liquid Talcom, you can predict how the email address will be, right? Okay. So if I do this, I'll go to, I'll do something we call URL crazy. URL crazy, so put liquid .com, right? So it goes to find out, URL crazy will try to help you to find out, identify how many domains are out there that have not been registered, but they look very similar to Liquid Talcom. So if you see this, all the ones with question mark, meaning they have not been registered. Are we together? So if you look at all of these, you can actually see that they look very similar to Liquid Talcom. So as a hacker, when a hacker is thinking, we will send an email to one of these people, or a group email, which we can identify easily from here, right? Something like, say, info. Somebody will reply. When the person replies, you copy the bottom part of it, the signature, be it thank you, regards, come again, God bless you, whatever it is. You copy that signature, check out one of these emails, and actually use that to send an email to anybody. So if I'm the head of finance and I'm like, hey, salary reduction, you'll be pissed off. Or please fill in this form for a salary review. There's a very high chance half of you will actually open that document. Right? But for those who are technical, there's something called an SPF and DMARC records. Majority of organizations don't have a protection against this. So if I was to do the same kind of thing, I want us to move to the next victim, which is, by the way, seriously, when I was coming to present, I had no idea what I was going to present about. Technical University. Let's see if we can try and get any email from there. So if you look at this email, C. Kamunga, 2014. So what I'll do is copy this detail here, and then go to Google. So there's a thing called ValueMail. ValueMail will try to actually validate your email details to see if you can be hacked or not. So I'll put. I'm not hacking them. I'm just trying to. So please don't worry. We're safe. So when I see 3 thumbs down, which I can bet more than half the organizations in Kenya do not have this set up properly. You always find 3 of them down. So I'm going to spoof an email address, an email from, let's take this person, right? Can we take that? Okay. We'll spoof an email from him or her to my email address. Usually when I ask people's accounts to try it with them, they don't give me. So I'll use myself as an example. So I decided to write that down quickly. 1 second. Please do not record this part that is about to show. So those are recording, please shut it down for now. So I've decided to send an email. It said, "What email what? Sent successfully." Can we check? So my email is right here. And if I look at the new email that is coming, what does it say? Please M-Pesa me 200 bob. And it came from who? So what if that came from the CEO of the organization? Will you open it? Definitely you will. I've had it with so many guys in their office and you see them panicking. See me in the office right now, you just see them running. Because such things are possible to happen. So it's basically setting what we call DMARC or SPF records. However, the easiest way to actually compromise people is to do what we call hacking of social media details. And the way to get them, one second. Yeah, so when I'm trying to actually find out details about a guy called brightzed@gmail.com, that's my email address. I will run this tool called Datasploit. Datasploit has a lot of Python tools which try to find out details about a domain, a person, a name. We can even find out people's Tinder names. You can actually use that. Okay, but not with this program. We're not going to go into that. You can find out the age of people because of Tinder and the screen names. So let's see what it found about me. It found out that my detail here is what? My full name is Bright Mawudo. If you don't know that, my family name is what? Mawudo. Things that I've actually done before. MBA was a program that I tried doing undergrad a really long time ago. Then I grab just a picture of me, but you can see my other names, right? Bright Gameli, website, my social media details, Facebook, Foursquare, Google, Gravatar, Cloud, MySpace, which I thought I deleted, my Twitter account. Now, this is what I find more interesting. Twitter has so much information that you have no idea about. Do you believe me? You don't believe me. Or now you're thinking everything that I say is gospel truth. Anyway, so if I want to analyze further, I even know the gender of this person is male, and the tentative city is where? Nairobi. And even accounts that have been hacked before. My LinkedIn account has been hacked before. Part of the guys who I hacked a long time ago, MySpace accounts and online spam bots. So this is just basically finding out information about me from just social media alone. I'm going to analyze Twitter right now, but before Twitter analysis also, the people who tweet a lot are the ones who are possibly trying to find out information about them. So what I usually like to do is to find out who in a particular area likes to tweet. So you know what I do? I come to something like this, just to find out GPS location. So this spot here that I chose is apparently one of the most popular places, which is, what's this place called again? Jomo Kenyatta. Yeah, I heard a lot of parties happen around that area. Right or wrong? Guys in Mombasa? Anyway, so I just want to analyze within a kilometer radius who tweets a lot and how do they look like? Who are they? By the way, I'm using publicly available tools. Nothing, I didn't buy any of these tools. So that is the kilometer radius, and I want the first 20 results. And let's see, it picks out every single person who ever tweeted within that area. This WizTech Mobile seems to be very popular, huh? Can we see who that is? Yeah? Okay, so I can take a user like this. First of all, you can find out every single tweet from this person. That means you analyze their Instagram accounts, pages that they've actually been following, what they talk about. You can actually extend that a little bit, but I don't need to go too much into that. Or you can do what we call analyzing of pictures. Because you do want to find out what are they into, what do they do exactly. And these people, 39 pictures. Let me see how they look like. You guys are very curious. I like this crowd. Again, I'm not hacking anyone. I'm only collecting what? Information that is publicly available. Okay, so I'm going to show you these pictures in a second. But then, of your discretion is advice, yes. Thank you very much for that. My system seems to be crashing quite a bit today. Somebody's trying to hack me. No. They won't hack me. So I know where this is. So I'll just go directly to it. But then, right here. So, these people are all about this. I like that. Contact number is important. So this guy all about phones, right?
Go ahead.
That means if I want to social engineer them, I know what to ask for. I want to buy this kind of phone. I want to buy a glass, a dome glass, and I'm like, please fill this form for me to be able to actually pre-order all of these things. But like, can we discuss the price detail because it's too expensive for me and the likes. So you can already pick up things from people. Actually, before I came here, no, not when they were on stage, and I'm like, okay, wait, we have Swahili pots. And the MC was like, please tweet. right? So I was like, okay, if the MC is forcing people to tweet, can we actually see who was tweeting? And I know you've paid people to actually work for you, to actually start doing social media things, but what time do they really actually post anything about Porn Innovation Week? So I took 5 minutes to do an analysis of Porn Innovation Week. So when you're doing such analysis, you can find out details about the people they follow, the tweets, the followers, the friends, the likes. If you just take the mouse and you find the numbers. So you can actually pay them according to this. Right or wrong. You can find out the times they have been tweeting, so 50-50, tweeting and retweeting, that means it's good. The URLs, the media that has been posted, I only analyzed 50 tweets between last month on the 1st until today, yeah? So you can find out at what time have they been online. That means it's at the time they're very active, right? So if the media team is here, this is your work. You try to find out exactly when they been online, what have they been posting. You can actually find out who has been obsessed with you or Porn Innovation Week. You can find out. I can see he's right there. Huh? Yeah? Like on Django. Clearly you have been a part of these tweets. You know, so you can see the number of retweets, the likes. So this also helps you to find out, to analyze people, because I now know who to try to impersonate. I now know who I can use to actually get all these details out. So it shows you everyone who is a Cyberspeak LC, and the list can go really, really on. You can even tell what phones are being used, what laptops are being used to actually do all these tweets. So you can profile a person because of what's just a Twitter account. Are we together? I'm not going to go too much into that because I was going to even show you how you can compromise somebody. You know how you have two-step verification? But you can bypass that as well by cloning a domain to look exactly the same. But when I send it to you, anything you type in there, I will get the results. You have to put the right password. If you don't put the right password, it doesn't go through. But I'm not going to go into that. So basically, these are just ways. If I was to hack his machine, I'll do that as the last part of the presentation. But I want to show you what happens when you try to get to compromise a mobile phone. So again, nobody gives me their phone at this part of the presentation, so I will use my own. So there's an app that I got in Kenya. So I got an app from the Play Store. It's a random application. Little did I know, this app actually belongs to a Kenyan company. It's a shopping application in town. Oh, somebody was using this before me. Any questions so far as I take this video? There's a friend of mine who was using the same server a few hours ago. He didn't stop everything from happening, so I hope that will work this time. All right, good. So when we get a connection to this phone, something will pop up on the screen, okay? So I want you to tell me how many seconds it takes when I open this app. Okay, can we count? Ready? Go. So assuming you are the victim, you have my phone, it says what? Okay, so click OK. So he clicks OK, and when he's there, he has the phone with him, and I want to send an SMS from him being the victim to somebody here. So I will say the targets to be +254, any number? Pardon? 727 969 916. If that's your number, I think there's so many men who are looking for that number right now. Now it's free. Anyway, so the destination that we're going, oh, that's the destination rather, sorry. So I'll change this to D, and then the text I want to send you is hacked at, don't worry, we're not hacking you, just so if everything goes well, you should be able to get a message from me. So all that time, if you are a trusted person to the person who's the victim, I'll send you a similar message with a link, yeah. I think this guy is also doing a presentation at the same time. Okay, I don't know. But the thing is, you will see that there are other commands that I can run. I can dump SMS from the person's phone. I can, you can pick up contacts. You can pick up the geographical location of the phone, webcam activation, screenshots, and all that kind of stuff. That's what you can do. You got it? Twice. Oh, so why did it show an error? So if you actually flash me, I can get the call log from my phone, but not yours, don't worry. Yeah, but those are just basically, yeah. Those are basically some of the things you can do when you actually get somebody's whatever phone number. I mean, it's an app. Can anybody give me their ID number? An ID number. Oh, okay. 1 second, please. I will not show this on the screen for confidentiality. 30, 35, 26, 26, 23, 53. So, your first name is Davina Juma, and tell me if these numbers make sense to you. It's an 88 somewhere. That's an Airtel number. No, you wait. 25. Yeah. 09? Yes. And yeah, that is because of what we call an IPRS hack. So not every government system is protected anyway, but it is all going reporting. Not every government system is protected. These are just basically ways that you can compromise. But I'd like to show you one last thing due to time. What happens when you actually send a document to somebody? What happens? How you can get compromised? And then what are the ways that we can stop this from happening, right? So I've created a little hotspot which I let Salima actually connect to my phone. And I'm trying to connect to it myself. It's taking forever. Okay, good. So for every kind of so I'll set up what we call a command and control, just the way I did that for the mobile application. If that works fine, if it doesn't, I think we can just forget about it. But basically all I want to do is send him a document, which is an Excel sheet, and tell him to open. So currently, that's going to fail also because I have to restart the laptop, which I don't think I want to do right now. So I'll leave that out and show you later if there's maybe tomorrow or something. Where's the presentation? So basically, these are some of the few things that you need to look for when it comes to cybersecurity. A lot of people always think of cybersecurity to be protection, detection, and response. I'm saying from here, move to what we call cyber resilience. Cyber resilience has two more elements, which is to identify and recover. If I want to go into this, that'll take me another 20, 15 minutes. Because cyber resilience basically allows you to be able to actually be proactively tackle cyber issues. So you know what is coming in, you know how to actually protect them, or you know how to recover from them very easily. If you want to protect yourself, what do you think is the strongest, usually any kind of hacking that happens with you as the person being targeted. These days, firewalls and the like stop people from being hacked, so it's actually much easier to hack a human being than hacking a system. Because if I hack a person in an organization, I can use that person as what we call a pivot, or lateral movement, to move through the entire network, and I can grab anything because that person legitimately stays in the network. Are we together? So you are the first line of defense. Updating of laptops. Every time your laptop says update, the first thing you do is to do what? You click cancel. Right? Cancel is the first thing that you do. I'm saying let the laptop update. Let it update the antivirus and all those kind of things that is there with it, because somebody somewhere is working so hard to make sure that you're protected. So let that be annoyed for 1 hour, it's okay. Yeah? And just let it update. When it comes to passwords, what do you think is the best password to you? What's a typical strong password? Anyone? Just say it. Speak it out loud. Words, letters, and everything. But you see, if I have every information about you, I told you what I can do. I can actually craft a password dictionary with every single character on the keyboard, and I can try 180 passwords per second. Meaning it will take me maybe a day, but it will go through. The strongest password you can ever have is a password with spaces. A space in between the two passwords is actually way stronger than it having extra letters and characters. Add the characters to the end, add the numbers. So if you say, I will never forget again, that is a very strong password. Password crackers are not smart enough to know the characters the character which is the space in between passwords. Right? So have passwords which have spaces in them, and you activate the two-step verification. Two-step verification is activated, it's actually there on every social media platform. Talking about Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp has it, and your email has two-step verification as well. But my extra to you, having a two-step verification is okay. But something like Gmail has something also called a backup code. Okay? A backup code looks like this. This backup code enables you to be able to log into your email even if you lose your phone. So if you lose the phone at night, you don't have the time to go to Safaricom or Airtel to replace the line, do you? But when you actually do this, you should be able to see activities, backup codes, or you should be able to see activities that are happening on your phone. So they look like this. There are 10 of them. Keep one in your wallet and one on your phone at home or something. You see, the reason why I like backup codes is when I type location, history, I can tell every single place that I have been for the past few years. Okay, don't do this to your spouses, please. This is very simple technology. So you can pick a day like a year, 2017, a month being March, and 22nd. You can tell that I was where? Well, media, there was an interview there. And wherever I went after that, you can see them all. It's the same way, yeah, let me see. See, home, where I went, Bistro, Rooftop, Westland, Strathmore Auditorium, the time that I spent there when I was moving, because the phone has a calibrator, so even if the phone is offline in offline mode, the moment you actually move a few steps, there's a calibrator that is actually picking the location details. So when the phone comes back online, it updates the location details. Are you together? Was a Google technology. The same thing when you do myactivity.google.com, it shows you every activity that has happened on your phone. Again, don't use this on your spouses. Right? So you can find out things that I was typing, both on my browsers, how many times I opened Twitter today, I was tweeting. The phone time, 6 times, all those little things are there for you to be able to use. Some of the best practices, never disclose passwords. I know there's so many IT organizations that say, oh look, I'm not in the office, here's the password to the server. Just log in and do the thing for me. Or log into my laptop and do some actions for me. Because we human beings are very trusted, but you can't trust people all the time to actually get things done for you. Limit IT information that you're disclosing in auto replies, escort guests to sensitive areas. Don't just get people who come to the office and then they stay there. If you don't know what they're doing there, you have no idea what they're looking for. Ask them questions. Who are you looking for? How may I help you? Have you been assisted? Even if you're not the office front desk person, yeah? Centralize the way of reporting. Talk to the police about security. And even the way, this limiting of information, of IT information disclosed. Let me give you a very simple story that happened. I was in, in Nairobi. Bistro is a bar. Somewhere on Ngong Road, this IT guy on Twitter talks a lot. So after analyzing his tweets, you can tell that this person is always boastful about IT. He's very talkative. So you can't fight him when it's technology. Now, all that we did was, according to his Instagram pictures, his Facebook analysis that we did, he likes tall, slender, light-skinned women. That's what he likes. That's his type of women. He likes them tall, slender, they're all light-skinned, every single picture. And the dark ones are always on the right. I don't know why. Anyway, so I know he's a Johnny Walker person, sometimes Jack Daniels. He's there 6 p.m. every Friday. He does not miss. So I took 3 ladies with me, 2 his type, 1 also his type. And when he talked to him, you're like, you know what? The ladies' job was to just get information. So they got every information from him. What IT technology is using, my server is this, we use this DLP like that, he was very boastful and he gave out every single information you can think about. So for all that information, and by the way, I spilled a drink on him, so he couldn't get mad at me because of the ladies, right? You know how men are, we men think like this. This is what you want. Women want to see what keys does he have, what car does he drive, what is he drinking before they can actually proceed, right or wrong? Come on guys, am I lying? So with that, I bought him another drink and I bought a bottle because, look, I don't have money to buy a full bottle for you in a club, expensive one for that matter, but that was part of the budget. So they drank, they got all the information, and with that, we knew exactly what virus to send to him because the lady said, I want to do internship with you. He's like, yeah, come. In fact, send me the project, I'll check it out for you. And copy my secretary. You see, he's a boastful guy. For sending all that, we compromised the secretary, compromised he himself, and from there we could actually open all the biometric doors because he had a file on his desktop with passwords. So Office 365 was there. Every little thing you can think about, every password to all systems, the VPNs, their network architecture details, every password was all in one single file on the desktop. Because of what? Alcohol and women. I'm not saying, anyway, I'm just saying that you limit the kind of IT information that you disclose to people because that can bite you back real hard because of, you don't know who you're talking to, right? So, with this operational guide, this is the last thing. I usually give this to people. I have an issue with my Chrome. But this is an operational guideline. I'll share that with you on my website later, which is guidelines of things you can use to protect yourself, software that you can use. There's one that I tell people every conference that I go to, which is called Cerberus. So when a thief steals your phone, what's the first thing you think he'll do? He can unlock it. What does he do? He puts it off, right? But this phone, right now, when you put it off, the shutdown button you're seeing it's not going off. It's fake. So right now it vibrates, you think your phone is off, but the thing is it took a picture of you plus the location of where the phone has been actually stolen. Can I show you? So for the next 1 minute is actually offline so that a thief will actually think the phone is offline, right? Let me log into the Wi-Fi. And if you press anything, if you press anything on the phone, nothing works. Until he puts it, so when he tries to put the phone on again, he sees that, oh my God, phone is still on. You do the same thing again, right? So let me put the right unlock code and show you a picture that comes out. So, oh, here it is. Anyway, this was very fast. This takes a picture of the person I was shaking, that's why. Otherwise, it takes a very nice picture of you, and then also device location. So this program is called Cerberus. Cerberus that's a spelling right there. And guess what? It costs only 700 shillings for the whole year. Very cheap application, but works. Oh, sorry. Cerberus Anti-Theft or Cerberus app. It's only 700 shillings. You can pay with a credit card or PayPal, and it actually solves that entire problem of you always losing your phones. And you can actually you can use a Muizi and send out a command to this phone and say shut down the phone or restart the phone or put on the GPS, wipe the phone if you think you have very confidential data. You will never get the phone back. If a new SIM card gets in, you can get a message on the other phone. If a person puts a wrong unlock code, you can actually get all the details, right? So, and I would have continued, but I know there's no time, and I think most of you want to leave. So with that, my details are still available, and thank you very much.
Maybe we can take 2 to 3 questions. Any questions? Because I know if it's to go on, you can go on for another hour. So maybe what we can do, do we allow him to go on, or we can take questions? Tomorrow. Okay, so let's take 3 questions. All right, we have 1 at the back. We have any 2? Okay, 2. 1 more. 1 more. All right, 3. So we'll go like that.
My name is Justin. Okay, my name is Justin. My question is, how now do you make sure that your website is secure?
Website hacking is a whole new topic. If I want to go into it, we can talk outside, but it's basically the basic security guidelines that you have to put. There's something called an OWASP Top 10. OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Protocol. You go according to that, you have guidelines for you to actually protect a website, which you can also check against to see if you actually conform to those particular guidelines. And be it any kind of website, if it's a customized application, you have to search for basics. If it's let's say WordPress, you can go to this WordPress hardening. Let me tell you something. I tell people the easiest way to actually learn how to hack or protect yourself is Google. Everything is there. How do I secure my WordPress? They'll give you all the guidelines are there. So just look for the kind of technology you try to apply it to you, and just look for the security part of that. Yeah. Thanks.
Good evening. My name is Judith Pamboka. I recently lost my Facebook account and my Yahoo. My Facebook account, the Yahoo mail was the one that opened it. So I hope this question is stupid because it's not stupid question. Can you help me hack my Facebook?
First of all, I put a disclaimer. I don't do personal hacking of people's accounts. I don't do email recovery. I don't do any of those because of ethics. And to recover your email, I'll tell you the steps. Either try to get your email back, and then use that email to be able to recover their Facebook account. If you can't, you can't get it back then. Otherwise, what I do professionally is in the line of giving services to organizations. If it's personal, yes, I can help you secure yourself, but I don't help you to even break into your own account. Because the thing is, hacking somebody else, it's a lot of work. You have to spend nights crafting something for that particular person. Then you have to stay awake, waiting for the person to actually click on the file or link. It's a lot of work. So usually, hackers will never ever tell you they will do anything personal. You pay them $1 million. Okay, $1 million, then I can consider it. Really we can consider. But basically just try to see if you can go through the recovery process for your Yahoo account. If you can't, then that account is gone. Yes.
Hi. My name is Alvin Tonga, and my question is based on the last app you talked about, Cyberus.
Yeah.
Cyberus, yeah. So this app, we know right now the phone you're using Apple or Android phone.
I'm using an Android phone. Cerberus works very easily for Android phone. On the, I wish I could get you the guideline. The guideline that I'm using, which is I put it together with a few friends. Let me just share it with you. If you search my, okay, this is one of my hacking code name called Tricorn, and on GitHub you will find all the ops here. It's called offset. Yeah, it's called Simple OPSEC. You will find all the tools that you can think about, how to protect yourself for. So you see there's the Cerberus, there's Lookout, there's Spray. Those are for Android applications. For Apple, I'm not an Apple fan really, so I don't know the ones for Apple, but Apple has its own inbuilt tracking application. But there are others that are there for Apple. But these are the various tools you can use for anti-tracking, extensions, account recovery. So if you want to recover your account, you can follow the steps that they have for Facebook and the likes. They're all on this website.
So my question is,
yes.
You said this app works in Android.
Yes.
So nowadays, theft, those people who steal phones, they've gone to some other level where after they steal phone, they put into recovery mode when they switch off the phone.
Yeah.
So after they put into the recovery mode, they wipe the data of the phone.
Yeah.
So when that is done, does the app also get deleted or?
Very good question. Actually, Cerberus has a way of actually you installing administrative version deep inside the phone. And even if you format the phone, you go to recovery mode to try to flash a new ROM and flash a new images, it'll still be there. Yeah, so it has that option for you to do. So you can flash the phone with a new ROM, you can try to format, but when you format, there's always that part, it's called the X-bit system 32. It's always still there, which will never go.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Let's give Dr. Wright a big round of applause.